Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting lap around the Nürburgring. Today it's going to be featuring this gentleman here in the white Giulia, the Alfa Romeo. This is a realistic track day, so there will be no hooning. I'm sorry to break to this gentleman here, but absolutely no drifting, burnouts in the pit area, nothing like that. We're going to try and keep it realistic for the sim's sake. And here we go. My goal today is to catch up with that white Giulia and that red one. Those are pretty dang quick cars. But in a Corvette, if they make some small mistakes here and there over this long lap, you can catch up. So that was my goal, and you can find out a lot about a driver in this first section here. So sure enough, my goal is just to keep it going smooth and steady. Don't go too quick. Don't try to, at least, because if you make a small mistake, you can lose all that time. So I'm really just progressing slowly. They're really keeping, I didn't gain any ground there. So these guys are pretty competent drivers. But I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm just going to keep going here. Breaking up a little early here, just playing it extra safe. Lots of road to play with. Nothing really happens for the first little bit. These guys are really good drivers, and I'm just waiting for something to happen. You can see, though, this Corvette, man, and compared to the Mustang I drove in the last video I did, it's very collect, lots more power, it feels like. It's just you don't want to break it as loose as much. It doesn't break loose that much, but when it does, it's a little less controllable. The Mustang feels like it's meant to do that, almost. You can see here just nice straight lines, and really easy to apply all the power without breaking loose. So coming up to this crest here, you can brake before or after. I like to brake after for that reason. And we finally have our first mistake. It's the red Giulia. He seems to have gone wide and spun out, and it seems to have broken his spirit. He doesn't decide to carry on, which is kind of a shame. But it gives me an opportunity to catch up to this white Giulia here. He seems to be slowing down, waiting for his friend. So I come over this. This is a really hazardous section. You can see there's a car down on my left there, and another one spinning out across the track here. And it's just me and this Giulia. I finally caught up. And this is where I make the big mistake. I don't know why he slowed down so much, but so I flash my high beams at him. You can see he just gets off the throttle immediately. And before I can even pass, he's flooring it again. So I think I've woken the beast. I didn't know it at the time, but I was in for some trouble here. He was going to test me. So we come flying down the section here, basically flat out till right there, and then you downshift into fourth, and right there he's already on my tail. And before I know it, he's closing the gap like of every corner a little bit more. You can see right here, there is next to no space. I've had parking jobs with more space in between. So the pressure was on immediately. I come out of here, that thing should take off on me in the straights, but I guess he seems to be an experienced driver. He doesn't really want to go for a pass that's in the danger section, it seems. He's taking a good line almost all the time, whereas my line is kind of questionable. So here, keeping it together, this is where I almost lost it with the Mustang. It's actually a very forgiving section. If you do go wide there, you can usually come back from it. So managed to keep it together through there. You can see he's looking around the outside, coming back to the inside. He's looking for a move. He's looking for any mistake, any gap. So I'm playing it pretty defensive. I hug the inside here, making sure, he just can't get by, stay off the grass on the outside. I really don't know how to take this section here. You can see I tried taking it without going a little too wide, but I do, and he just had so much more speed carrying through there. He went for it, and I kind of pinched him out. I don't know, I went back and watched his perspective, and man, I gotta copy his line. I'm doing something wrong. Keep it together through here. Again, not breaking loose at all. That's in second gear, I'm pretty sure, leading into that, coming out of there. So not breaking loose is pretty good when you're doing 500 horsepower or something. I don't know. Really easy to go wide here. I managed to even keep it off the shoulder, which I was impressed about. He's looking on the outside, first the left and the right side, then he settles back in, and right here we get a beautiful little drag race up the hill. I went just a little too wide. I should have come across and hit an apex, but I missed it by a mile. He went into that spot, and he gets kind of up beside me, but backs out of it. He knows right here, there's no room for two of us to go side by side, full throttle right there, full speed. Just not going to happen. I get really late on the brakes, and I kind of understeer a little wide, and he just kind of slots back into that gap. A nice little cutback, and we get another drag race for a second, until he backs right out of it. So, he's clearly a playful driver. He clearly wants me to make a mistake or take me legitimately, just completely, slam me. A little bump draft there, speeding me up. And, come around this section, you just don't lift at all. I'd hate for this to be my real car, because this is a solid, 15 seconds where I'm sitting at, I don't know what Mustangs rev to, 6,000, 6,500 RPM. just sitting there for 5th. Like, it's better to stay at the top of 4th than try shifting, I think, into 5th. I think I'd lose some speed. So I feel sorry for the car. You can see he's right back on my tail again, though. I played it safe, braking around some of those corners. A little too safe, and he closed the gap instantly. Coming up to the section before the carousel here, you can see he starts on my right, goes to the left, and then just starts coming back for a cut back to the right. I was playing it defensive the whole time and accidentally broke loose there, finally, in 2nd gear. Kind of like screwing him over, really. You can't really pass if you don't know where I'm going to go. I don't even know where I'm going to go. Coming into the carousel, I enter it okay, but then I get a little overzealous, and I kind of just fall out of it. You know, I always say it's better in than out when it comes to the carousel. It's good life advice in general, I think, but yeah, I fell out of it there. I barely managed to keep 2 wheels in it. So coming across here, you know, playing it safe, it was eventually going to be my downfall. I mean, he just gives me the lightest tap and it sends me careening. He knows it was an accident. He yields. And what that GTR did, that's what I was afraid of, man. If you do that in a rear-wheel drive, going the AstroTurf like that, you can really spin. So I was kind of scared of that. I had lots of road to play with, though. I was playing it too safe. He pulls over right away to let that GTR pass, and no, I'm not sure what's going on. I thought we were playing, so I kind of throw in my hazards, and evidently almost killed that GTR. He didn't really know what was going on. So luckily he collects himself. All-wheel drive to the rescue again. It's the 2nd time today, and he immediately goes off the track. So I don't think I was really blamed for that incident there. Maybe almost dying before, but not that. Yeah, accidentally rear-end our Alpha friend there, and then we carry on. And wouldn't you know it, like 2 turns later, immediately going wide again. And the Alpha gets a cheeky little pass here, and I try to follow him for a second. I think about it, and then I immediately realize what's happening. Wait for a cutback, and just barely pull it off by the skin of my teeth. You can see we made a little contact there. He turned in right as it happened. It could have been way worse. Get a good run out of there, though. I'm starting to feel like a little heat between me and this GTR, and then this happens. I mean, damn. I mean, any rivalry that just sort of happened between me and the GTR instantly got halted by that flex. No more. We stopped pushing and just let this guy do his thing, because we are clearly just grasshoppers. This is the sensei here. Trying to keep up is all we can do. You can see this guy is just all over, man. He's breaking loose constantly, and he's still flying away. Every little ledge, every single crest, he's going around sideways. And you can see the Corvette just seems so collect in comparison. It seems like it's not even trying, even though I was flat out. I hit the braking point really well there. And then I think our friend was showing off a little too much, trying to drift. He kicked up some smoke, and he couldn't really recover. This is my opportunity here. I'm going to show him who the boss is. I try at 360 and miraculously don't make contact with either of the other players, which was nice. I hit that wall. I might have, allegedly. But, you know, no players were hit, and I ended up facing the right direction, so that's a win in my books. And I kind of keep flashing my lights. I'm hoping to wait for me for some reason. I don't know. They're caught up in the moment. Hit this section rather nicely. This is how it's supposed to do it. You're not supposed to get sideways here like that Mustang. And still flashing my lights. I haven't learned my lesson. And that's it. Across the line, and that's like a 7:53.9. The lap was, so in case you guys care about that kind of stuff. Not bad considering all the shenanigans that went on. Sub 8, I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.